Welcome to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine Hy-Vee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Welcome in, friends. Oh, I love that we've got Greg Bach just chilling in the background. This is fantastic. We just need him there every day. That would be awesome. Lieutenant Greg Bach in the background. Welcome to the show. It's Hy-Vee Today for Wednesday, the 4th of March. Good to be with you. Another sunny start to the day. Again, we're doing the show live just after 8:30 in the morning. I know a lot of you watch it on cable in the evening at 7:30 or 10:30, and I encourage you, if you want to come and hang out while the show's going on, you can grab breakfast, or if you're a third shifter, we have a full-service bar right behind us. You want to come and grab a drink after work or whatever the case may be, we'd love to have you in here. I'm just going to mention one thing really quick, and then I'm going to get to our guests because we have a lot of them here to start the show. It's Wellness Wednesday at the store, so if you're still sticking to that New Year's resolution, trying to be healthy, everything in the health market, 10% off. All organic produce, as you can see on the screen, 10% off. And then if you need, toothpaste, deodorant, maybe Lieutenant Bach needs a razor, you can save 10% off of stuff like that, health and beauty care items, because it's Wellness Wednesday. And it's a good deal. I kid Lieutenant Greg Bach because he's our friend, and you can kid the ones that you like, right? And somebody's phone's going, is that your phone? Man, he's been here 800 times, and his phone's chirping.
I think it was my wife.
It was his better half, too. Come on, Liz, what you doing? All right, I want to get to our guests that are here, and we have a lot of good news to talk about. So you can already see Lieutenant Greg Bach, who is just perched right behind me. I just have you sit on my shoulder. I just hold you like here. I can put you on my knee like I'm Santa or something. So we've got Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army. We have Assistant Chief of Police with Muscatine Police Department, Phil Sargent, next to Lieutenant Bach. We have Chief Jerry Evers with the Muscatine Fire Department, Corporal Willie Lesa with the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office, and Captain Quinn Reese, who's also my neighbor with the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office. And now we're going to tell everybody our addresses. Quinn, are you ready? 123 Fake Street. It's good to see all you. Thank you for being here. And then we've got some hardware on the table. So I'm going to start with Lieutenant Greg Bach. You came into Muscatine. You got here in July. You had a lot of ambitious goals with the Salvation Army. You knew that the Red Kettle campaign is the biggest fundraiser that you do. Your goal was $180,000. You slept in a red kettle outside of this store, which I still hope people believe that you really did, because you're really in there.
Slept all night long.
And my favorite thing would be when I'd get to work and Lieutenant Bach would tell me, somebody came by at like 3 a.m. and just knocked on the kettle. So your goal was how much for this year?
180.
Okay. So $180,000 is a lot of money. And what did you end up bringing in? Do you have like an exact dollar amount? Because this is unbelievable.
It was like literally right at 190.
Wow.
It was like to the penny almost.
So not only did you hit your goal of $180,000, you surpassed it.
We surpassed it. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I thought we'd come in like maybe 170, 175. Sure. To come in 190, there's some places in our division that didn't even meet their goals. So I'm thankful, and I'm grateful for these guys that showed up to help out, and everyone who gave. Like, thank you very much.
So it's unbelievable. And had it happened in Muscatine over the last 5 or 10 years where they had hit, because the goal keeps increasing, but the goal is based on programming and demand and services. So, but had that happened?
No, not in the last. I think the last time it happened was whenever either Kent or Kriegers were the honorary co-chairs.
Okay.
That was probably 5-6 years ago,
sure.
Maybe. So they haven't met the goal in that many years. So the fact that we met it and then exceeded it it's unbelievable still. I'm like, is this number right? Make sure that it's legit. But it is. $114,000 in the kettle alone.
That's
so
unbelievable. In the kettle. Yeah. We should say that the co-chairs for this year, Sheriff CJ Ryan, who's not here, Chief Brett Talkington, who's not here, Chief Evers, who is here. Apparently everybody else is on vacation or something. And then we've got our friends representing from the various departments, but they were your honorary co-chairs. Yeah. And then there was a challenge amongst the departments. Is that correct? That's
correct. So the idea was, if we can get people who are kind of high profile in the community, people see them and they just want to come out and they support them, and in turn support the Salvation Army. That's kind of what we wanted to do. So Esther Dean came up with a great idea to have the police chief, fire chief, and the sheriff as the honorary co-chairs. And it worked out amazingly because not only did they show up, but their guys and girls on their departments showed up to ring as well. I think Officer Pena was at my kettle, like daily.
I was going to say, go ahead.
Yeah, Whitney was very vocal, as she is with a lot of things. She was very helpful, and she was in the kettle with you a number of times raising money for this.
It was unbelievable. And oddly enough, Officer Whitney Pena on Facebook right now saying, yay, hi guys. So she's everywhere. But right, I mean, that,
She's supposed to be at another meeting right now.
Listen, Phil, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Is there an apology on that?
I'm the only one that doesn't have a cool title in front of their name. I could be doctor, I guess. Jerry, so for you, when you were approached, what did you think? Obviously, the Salvation Army has been in Muscatine for a long time. But did you think about it? Or was it an immediate yes? Because it can be. I mean, you already have a lot of responsibilities. You're, chief of the fire department. That's a big job. And then to have this, was it a yes because you could kind of split the responsibilities up with CJ and Brett, or what?
It was actually that I couldn't say no.
Okay.
So it really wasn't. Really wasn't a yes.
Yeah.
But no. When we were approached, I mean, it just sounded like, yeah, sure, let's do this. A friendly competition between the different agencies.
Sure.
Thought it was going to be good for the community, and we were up for the challenge. So, first time ever doing this, and I thought it was a success, and we really had a good time.
And then for Willie and Quinn, obviously, you know what the Salvation Army stands for, the people that they help. So, and we've had such a weird winter where it was certainly cold, but not like last year. And I don't know, it seems like you guys rang a lot outside. But talk about just getting involved in the sheriff, because the sheriff's department was right there, right? Ringing, volunteering, coming out to see this guy in his big red kettle. But I know that it's important for you guys, as much as you're keeping everybody safe within the county, to also be involved, right?
So we do several different things, several different outreach things,
Sure.
Whether it be Salvation Army, the Toys for Kid drive, typically November, December-ish. Willie does a lot with the Special Olympics, so we are involved with several different outreach type functions. This one specifically, now that there is a challenge between departments, tends to bring out the competitive side a little bit more. So we'll see how that turns out here shortly, I hope.
I was going to say, Willie, it's all in good fun, though, obviously.
It is
right?
in good fun.
The Salvation Army stands to gain and be able to help more people. But you guys do, I mean, right? I mean, you do like a good, friendly competition amongst departments.
Yeah, it's always fun to outdo these guys and whatever we can, But yes, when they approached us, I mean, right away, like Jerry said, something that sounded fun and good for the community and benefit for a lot of other people.
So Lieutenant Greg Bach, we have this like awkward responsibility now of like declaring a winner of the competition between Muscatine Police, Muscatine Fire, and Muscatine County Sheriff's Office. I just want to go on record saying that everybody's a winner. And if I call 911, I want all of you to answer. So even though I get a lot of flack for the police and fire basketball game against Special Olympics when I call fouls and traveling, I feel like we can put things aside. Phil, we're good, right?
We're good.
Okay, we're good. Okay, I feel like I hope you mean that. But you do have a winner, and is it a traveling trophy or what?
It's a traveling trophy. If you'll notice. So the middle one is supposed to be second place. It says third place on it. But if you look at the last trophy that's on the table, all around it is starting with the early 80s, going through the mid 90s. There are groups that have fought to have first place. It's a third place trophy, but it's the only one that has names on it as far as who participated in those years. It's a really cool thing. So our idea was to kind of have the same thing with the big trophy. So this will go out and it'll have the winner's name on it for 2019 for the kettle campaign. I will say that Willie and whoever else was with him that day, they went national news right along with us because it was their picture on the front page of the Quad City Times.
It was one of our new deputies, Nick Rommel. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, I remember that. We stopped by to see him. And photographer happened to be here, and we're throwing money in the kettle, and I guess it.
It's rigged, Jerry. You know that, right, Phil? I was going to say. Yeah, how convenient, right?
They make phone calls.
Well, and I want to say I was also here on the last day with Greg on Christmas Eve, so I'm just putting that out there.
I feel like Hy-Vee should get the large trophy for letting you illegally park your red kettle outside.
They should get. Yes, I agree.
I'm kidding, of course. It's not about us at all.
Something big, because if it wasn't for Matt Schweitzer and you and Hy-Vee in general letting us and the employees here letting us park outside and block traffic and just make people probably have a headache coming to Hy-Vee because we were there for 7 days straight, I don't think we would have even come close to meeting our goal. So thank you to you and to Matt and to Hy-Vee and the employees here for doing this. But I do have numbers.
Yes, without further ado, Ryan Seacrest, let's get to the winner before we take a commercial break or something.
Everybody.
All right, so the battle between Muscatine Police, Fire, and Sheriff's Office. Who do you have?
So here, I will go by first the day, because it's going to count for, the trophy goes to really the day that they ring as a group. And so I will say, so coming in third place is actually the police department, $741.35. Which is it's a good kettle, because all around town, different places, I mean, maybe $200 in the kettles per day. So to have a kettle that's over 500, pushing 750, is really amazing. That's fantastic. So it's really cool. So second place we have the fire department. They came in at $1,075.86, which is great. I will say that I changed these kettles out for all of these groups at least twice that day, so people were just shoving some money in.
But when you tripped and fell and knocked our door, I was like, what's going on here?
Phil was like calculating.
And I was over there picking
Phil
it all
was
up.
thinking of like some type of citation he could give for that giant red kettle, as you say that. And then for first place, obviously, Quinn and Willie already congratulated you.
So it's they brought in on that day $1,546.49.
What did they have, a canine? Just like getting people, like what was the secret? How did you $1,500 in a day of ringing?
There was a
Did
lot
you,
of
were you just
chasing.
flexing or what?
There was a lot of chasing people in
Hey,
and
you
out.
come here. Yes.
I know you. Come here.
And really, you can't say no to us. I mean, look at us. You can't say no to us,
This
right?
is so awkward that this has to be a winner because
Yeah.
ultimately you can't say no. Willie's like, look at this. Come on. What are you gonna say?
I will tell you
Yeah,
that.
sorry. Go ahead.
If it had to go by who created the most creative actual red kettle, the fire department blew it out of the water. Their actual red kettle was so cool looking. They had their emblem on it. They had a little Santa Claus hat off their emblem painted on it. It's a really cool kettle. So I do have now. They also ran the other places in the community, and we added all that all together. So I can give you numbers for that too.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the police department total, they raised $3,501.32. Wow. Yeah. Great.
Fantastic.
Nice.
The fire department was $2,065.42.
Excellent.
And the sheriff's department, because Deputy Slight had like a $2,000 check in her kettle and she was not reading for me, they raised total, because Quinn was out a lot and the sheriff was in the kettle a lot with me.
I did see that,
their
yeah.
total was
Go ahead. What are you?
$6,677.76.
So
You
listen.
gotta strong arm people.
That's the key.
Intimidation.
There's going to be a different strategy
I was
next
gonna
year.
say. So you heard that Jerry is volunteering for next year already. That's very ambitious of you.
nice.
There's
Go
going to be a
ahead.
lot of chasing people around.
You get them on the way in. You get them on the way out.
Here's the thing: we have this get out of jail free program. We will not put your mugshot on Mobile Patrol if you donate to this kettle. Could that be a thing, Phil? What do you think?
Something along those
Okay,
lines.
yeah, I'm kidding, of course. But the big thing, of course, is that the Salvation Army hits their goal, surpasses their goal. I mean, when we talk about $180,000, Lieutenant Bach, that's a lot of money. But I wonder if you can tell the folks at home what hitting your goal means and then surpassing it, because the story was if you had not hit your goal, you have to look at maybe reducing some programming available that's for the community, for young people, all the outreach. So now what are you able to do since you've not only hit it, you've surpassed it?
So one big thing is we get to keep day camp.
Sure.
Which that would have been the first thing cut if we didn't meet the goal was day camp, because it's a big expense for that. So that's like a 30-plus year running program that I think started with either the Rays or the Boyles when they were here as officers. So it was important for me, because I have kids too that benefit from the day camp. I know you do, and a lot of folks. I think there's actually a sheriff's deputy that went to day camp at Salvation Army. So we get to keep that. We don't have to cut any staff. We can be staffed fully. We actually can hire somebody to focus just on the children and youth. To even develop more programs for Salvation Army, to just outreach for the community. We can do more through our food pantry and our partnership with the Riverbend Food Bank. We can hit the streets more and do more community-minded stuff, like being in the parks with breads and hydration and that kind of stuff. Emergency disaster services, we can go full forward with that now, and just be there to provide support for our first responders, and then folks affected by disasters, house fires, whatever it may be. And Pathway of Hope, which is really the model of case management now, which is to help identify what keeps people just kind of bound in generational poverty. So we can really focus more on that and put more resources to that to really help. Just really, our slogan is doing the most good, but really we want to just make lives better for people in Muscatine County. So we can do that.
And I think what's important, and maybe you guys can agree or comment on this, but like, the perception for a lot of folks for the Salvation Army is we just see them with the red kettles and we're not really sure what goes on. But in just 3 minutes, Lieutenant Bach outlined all that they're able to do. And maybe if you're watching, you didn't know about all those services. And that's why it's such a big deal to have gotten all these departments and agencies involved to rally support to hit that goal. It's a really big deal. And anytime it comes to having to potentially cut things, it's never a good feeling. So to have done that, I mean, kudos to everybody involved, right? I mean, it's such an achievement to be able to sit here and say for the first time in a long time, the Salvation Army, hits their goal, surpasses it, is going to continue to do even more. So I guess knowing how your departments and agencies did, how does that make, Quinn, let's start with you. How do you feel hearing that? Because knowing that it hasn't happened, I mean, I've been here 8 years and it seemed like each year we'd get this goal for the Salvation Army and it just seems so daunting.
And you said earlier, you see the red kettles coming in and out of different stores. You don't really pay a lot of attention to it. You drop $1 in here and there. Actually getting involved with that program now and knowing where those resources go and knowing that those resources stay local. That money's not getting shipped to Quad Cities or out of state or so on and so forth really means a lot. And I think, and Greg can probably talk to this more, with Wilton and West Liberty getting involved this year,
good
which
point.
is
getting the county right, because you don't just serve Muscatine, and you did a good job of making sure that people understand that when you talk about Salvation Army, it is county-wide, right?
It is, yeah. I have to give credit to Mike Ruby, who was our on the board. He was a Christmas chairman on the board, and he really engaged the West Liberty Rotary Club, and they raised along with like the National Honor Society, different groups in West Liberty. And Jerry BP, he was that organization, that company was very influential in helping us raise over $3,000 in West Liberty alone for the cattle campaign. Wilton raised about $500, which is still a good effort, for that at Jeff's Market there. So Jeff's Market, Jerry BP, Hy-Vee here, other grocery stores and places in town. I just thank you very much for helping us meet our goal. But it was important for us to expand to those places in Muscatine County, so they have a kind of like a stock and there's it's not my Salvation Army, it's the community's Salvation Army, and we want to be there when, just like these guys are there, when the call comes through for them, when the alarm sounds, when someone's in need and that alarm sounds for us, we want to make sure we can respond to them, and these guys help us do it.
Well, and we all know that everybody sitting here, like the importance of, you talk about things like the day camp, and Jen on Facebook says, so thankful to have day camp this year. Thank you to everyone for helping meet the goal. I mean, we all know, guys, like if we can have a safe place for our kids to go during the summer, right, so that they can be surrounded by good and have good experiences, they'll be set up for success heading into the next school year, and then we don't really have to worry about them falling off or falling through the cracks, right? And hopefully they'll continue their path of education, or at least get that high school diploma and then enter the workforce. But I mean that and it might not seem like it's a big deal, but it really is. How many kids in the day camp last year?
We had about 42 in day camp last year. I think we can take about 70 is what the paperwork says. So we're planning this year. My wife is actually the day camp director this year, so we want to thank Eric Earington for his 30+ years of service for Salvation Army. But yeah, Liz is doing it this year, so we're really planning for a good day camp. It's going to be Olympic themed.
Nice.
I hear there's like a color run or color barrage happening with day camp at the park across the street. So we have some cool things planned for day camp.
You know who loves having stuff thrown at him? Right, Phil? I mean, I'm not saying maybe Brett, because Brett's not here. Chief Talkington is on assignment, I think you said, right?
Yeah, he chose this time of the year to leave the country for better weather. Even though now we're getting nice weather.
I was going to
here.
say,
First off, with Salvation Army,
Yeah.
with anytime an agency or group can provide positive influence, positive reinforcement to the kids when they are the most influential, it's something that we need, and we need that continuously as they're growing up. And I think that's great that they have a safe place to go during the summer. Over the years, with a number of groups that I've been involved with, find out what Salvation is doing for the community. There's a lot of people that don't, and the more that they know, the better off the community is and better off Salvation Army is. And congratulations again on the creative means and effort you put in to help raise the fund and to bring attention to your organization.
I mean, we had talked about maybe next year, if you're going to roll out and live in the kettle again, which you did, maybe, the co-chairs shack up for a night. I don't know. I mean, I thought you would have a tent. That's what I thought. I was like, this dude's just going to pop a tent at the top of the red kettle, but you were just sleeping in the elements.
I did that in northern Michigan. I had a deer pub tent, like a deer hunting tent. And I got down to use the restroom at the police station, came back, and it was gone. And I thought someone stole my tent. And it turns out, because we were at the very tip of Lower Peninsula, Michigan, the wind blew it down to Lake Michigan. And it was in the lake.
That's fantastic.
That's what found it for me, in the lake. But people brought me, so the cool thing about this kettle was I went up with very little.
Sure.
And I didn't have my wife bring me very much. It was people who came by and say, hey man, this is really cool. What are you doing? I could tell about Salvation Army, and they'd say, hey, do you need a heater? And I would say, yeah. Let me tell you about the folks in Muscatine County who can afford utilities. So they would take part in the kettle campaign by giving me a heater or a sleeping bag or coffee, whatever. But in turn, I would educate them about the need in town and how they can help Salvation Army meet that need. So it was a really cool first year of doing it. And I think next year, we already have some, like Chris Anderson from Discover Muscatine. He has some ideas already for next year and how we can, he wants like a live 24/7 feed in the kettle.
I don't know. There are already people. There were already people in our break room that were like, "That guy's really sleeping out there," and I'm like, "Don't watch the lieutenant sleep," or they like knock on the glass up there, like, "Hey, lieutenant." But no, it is great, and I think the variety of programming that's offered from the Salvation Army and the impact is so big. But certainly talking about those kids, I mean, that's if you can catch them early for kids that are maybe struggling and have a good resource like that, it can really be a game changer. And then we're talking about kids that could grow up to be our future police, firefighters, or involved with the sheriff's office. I mean, that's the truth, right? I mean, you're always going to need people and good people, and if it can start from a kid having a good experience, that's why I'm always so pro when you guys can have like the open house at the police and fire station, and the sheriff's office gets out and about so much, even if it's a kid just coming up to one of y'all or looking into the vehicle and being curious about it, right? And having them understand that they shouldn't be intimidated around law enforcement or fire department, because I think that can be such a thing, right? I mean, you're here when we need them, but at the end of the day, you're just people. But you want these kids to know, and you all do a good job of that. But that can really be a big deal. And I think for the camp this year, I'd see if you can get a fire truck parked down there, Jerry. I mean, right? You know that when a kid can see an ambulance or one of the rigs, like their mouth is just open because they're so impressed by it, but 10 years, 15 years down the road, that kid could be interested in signing up, right? Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, I'll tell you what, the fact that you guys were all involved, in addition to your schedules being so busy, is great. Sue Ryan on Facebook says, Salvation Army finally got a great captain to rally around the county. Without him, I think she's talking about Greg Bach. Without him, the Salvation Army would not survive. Job well done. Yeah, so, right. I mean, it was a lot of work for you. And I think for the first couple of days, your wife was like, yeah, we miss him. And then towards the end, she was like, the kids need you to come home, right?
She was like, you're coming down Christmas Eve, right? And I said, well, she goes, oh, no, I'm telling you, you are coming down Christmas Eve.
Right. I was going to say, I mean, you slept, what, 6 nights up there?
6 nights in that big kettle. And let me tell you, like, it's round, so there's no stretching out. Like, you have to, like, bend your legs with the kettle or just kind of curl up in a ball. And so there was nights, I think there was freezing fog one night. I woke up kind of shivering, and I'm like, why am I wet? It didn't rain. But there was freezing fog. It was an experience. And so next year, we might take it around to different businesses during kettle season and kind of like do a freeze your boss or freeze your CEO or your supervisor kind of thing.
Sure.
And have people kind of like buy them back down from the kettle or donate them back down from the kettle is a better way to put it. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Could any of us afford to be in a red kettle for 6 nights away from our family? Phil, what do you think?
Could afford it.
Yeah.
But do I want to?
Jerry, would you be missed if you were in a kettle for a
I think so.
Willie, what do you think?
I would like to think so.
I feel
yes.
like I would love to send at least 2 of my 3 kids, if that's okay. Right?
Can we pick the time for it? So, like May.
A number of families may like to see
I was
people spend 2 or 3 nights.
That's another thing, yes.
Make them appreciate what they have at home.
Right, and that's just it. I mean, you talk about folks that are struggling, and I'm so happy to have this happen. Let's see, Isaiah Phillips on Facebook says, Quinn, will you ring the bell with me next Christmas? So there you go, Isaiah. He's in. That's the answer.
Does he want to get in the kettle, though?
Well, I would hope so. I mean, I think everybody should check it out. It was such a cool thing. How quickly did you get that kettle put together? Because you got here in July, and you were like, I have this kettle in Michigan. And we were like, yeah, whatever. And then he was like, I want to make it happen. And we were like, yeah, whatever. And then you made it happen.
Yeah,
so what do you have, like 10 days or something?
Yeah, it was like the end of November.
Yeah.
Our middle part of November, or December. I'm sorry, no, October. Jeez.
It was a month, everybody.
Rain, end of October, and I'm like, hey, we have to pull the trigger on this if we're going to do it. Sure. And so the board voted yes, and Hoffman Incorporated built it for us in like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And Jim Shepard from Sweetland Trailers graciously let us use one of his trailers at no cost for this thing, and it's actually getting moved to our permanent trailer today. So, and the cool thing about this kettle is it's all Iowa. It's built by Hoffman. It was on a trailer from Sweetland Trailers. The paint was bought locally. Even the decals were made locally. So everything about it is Muscatine County.
Absolutely fantastic. And next year you were saying you want to put a loft on it. So nothing, you want to put a loft with heat and a little bathroom, right?
Man, if they can make it happen, like add an addition to it. There is a downstairs to that thing.
There is, right. I was going to say, he's got a finished basement down there.
I do have a finished basement, yeah.
I'm really trying to make people understand that it's not as nice as it sounds. I mean, he was really struck. How many Starbucks drinks did you spill in the red kettle? What was the over-under, 25?
Probably like 35. I would get them back to back, so I had to put one down, and then I'd move a little bit, and maybe it'd shift, and then there it goes, over, and then my clothes get all wet, my sleeping bag gets turned into nothing, and I just threw it over the side, let it dry out, and would use it again that night. But there was no coming down for stuff like that. And my thought was that if there are people out there sleeping in their car in the wintertime, I can suffer for a little bit in this giant red kettle.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right. I mean, and that's true, and it's unfortunate to think about that. Did you find out how many donations were brought in, like from the time you got into the kettle where you were at? Because it was a substantial amount, right?
I can tell you when I got into the kettle, which was very nerve-wracking, we were at $51,000. And that's December 18th.
Wow.
And it ran to the 25th.
Wow.
So I was kind of freaking out going, we're not going to meet this goal at all. So I'm going to have to do this earlier than I thought. So I got in it, and I can tell you when I came down, we were, I think, 160 in the kettles. Mm-hmm. So in the kettle alone, total was $114,000. So that's like unheard of for cash and checks in the actual kettle itself. So, and I can tell you the kettle that was by me, every day they checked it, had at least $1,000 in it. In addition to the 2 kettles inside Hy-Vee that had at least that week $800 in them a piece. So
Absolutely wild.
it was amazing.
Right? I mean, it's so great to hear this. So, again, if you're just tuning in, Salvation Army Muscatine surpasses their goal, nearly $190,000 brought in during that campaign. And it's just so great to have the involvement with the Muscatine Police, Fire, and the Sheriff's Office coming on board to help out. Quinn, Isaiah Phillips wants you to know that he thinks that dressing like elves would be a good way to bring in.
Can we be in the kettle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you and Isaiah want to take a night, that would be awesome.
I was thinking SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. That's a good idea, right?
Thanks, Jerry.
It's very nice. It's very nice. So the trophy right here. By the way, this is the real deal, right? Oh, and it's a working bell too.
I guess so.
Holy moly!
I guess it is now.
Maybe I wasn't supposed to shake it like
It's broken
that.
now. Thank
So
you.
the important thing to note is that the Salvation Army and Muscatine County really comes out ahead with this campaign being successful and having everybody involved. And if you watching, from that spare change in your car to substantial donations, every little bit helped. Every little bit is accounted for, right? It's not, and to Quinn's point, the money is not getting shipped out of town. It's staying in Muscatine County. And that's a big deal for everybody that's sitting here, right? We're all invested in making Muscatine County better in our different ways. So Salvation Army is going to continue to do that. Now, this doesn't mean that they're going to raise your goal to $200,000. They're like, oh, Muscatine, they've got it made down there. They're printing money.
They better not.
Yeah, they better not. Right?
Gonna be in that
They better
thing
not.
all of
No,
December.
yeah. In fact, I was kind of asking around, hey, how do we get this lowered? And they're like, you don't want to get it lowered. You want to keep shooting for more. And I'm going, that's great and all, but we just got to keep it at 180, or, the fact that we exceeded the goal is amazing. So I'm really hoping that it just stops, it stops at that 180, because if we can keep that going, unless more needs pop up, and if more needs pop up, then the need for that funding and financial, assistance comes in, and that means we have to raise the goal. But we have one of the biggest goals for our area.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the biggest
Bigger
goals.
than Burlington, right?
Bigger than Burlington, yeah. I think by 20 or 30,000 bigger than Burlington's.
So, but and again, to one of the examples that the lieutenant mentioned, disaster services, tornado in Nashville, Salvation Army on the scene helping out, right? You think you shared pictures yesterday.
Yeah, they were there from right after it happened. They mobilized and they got there. And Salvation Army, the Red Cross, Samaritan's Purse, Convoy of Hope, all those organizations. And that's the thing, we work so well with other organizations. People think that it's Salvation Army versus Goodwill versus Red Cross. And I go, it's not that at all, because we have different focuses. The Goodwill employs people with special needs, which is not what we do.
Sure.
And it's amazing that they can do that. The Red Cross and Salvation Army, we worked very well this last 2 weeks ago in Wilton when there was that apartment fire, and we just worked really great as a team. So we work very, very, very well together. So this whole mindset of we don't like them better. Let's just get rid of that mindset, because we all do the most good where we can, when we can.
Yeah, no, and it's true, and it's only going to continue to get better with that goal having been hit. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. Yeah. I hope that you have a boring rest of your day. And I mean, right? I mean that, listen, if you need anything, the number for everybody that's here. It's different from the Hy-Vee number. But, and when I say that, we had some guys from the fire department in the store the other day kind of checking things out, and I said that as they were leaving. I was like, I hope you have a boring day. I mean, I know that boring days are maybe longer days, but sometimes it's okay, right? But if trouble, pokes its head, or if you need something, reach out. And thank you again for being here, Phil. It's great to see you, Jerry. Yeah, and Brett. Hey, Brett, we missed you, buddy. Jerry, good to see you, man.
Look forward to next year.
Yeah. Does this mean that you're doing it?
Of course.
Whoa.
Course.
Are we?
Yeah.
That trophy's staying with us.
Wow.
I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that out there.
Did you know that?
That's. You know what? Coming as a fire chief's son, it is no surprise to me that the fire chief is stepping up again to do this. So I appreciate the law enforcement folks that are here, but my loyalty kind of lies with the fire department.
As someone whose father is a retired Chicago police officer.
Challenge accepted.
It's the battle of the badges. So
Yeah, I like it. Phil, anything to comment on that? He kind of threw you under the bus or under the fire truck.
Well, I can't officially say that Brett's going to do it, but Brett will do it.
Yeah, there you go. But Brett will do it. Willie, you guys are in?
like I said, that trophy's staying with us. So.
Quinn, what do you think?
Absolutely.
All right. So if
Challenge
I want to
accepted.
see the trophy, I just got to walk over to the house. Is it going to be in the garage or what? What do you think?
Yeah, we'll kind of ship it around the office
Okay.
for a little bit. So
Yeah,
if you want to
'cause-
stop over later today,
Yeah, I'd love to see it at the jail if I come in the right door and not the,
we probably won't put it in
That's
the
not-
back.
Well, listen, I mean, there's certain ways you go into a jail, and one of the door, you go in the door, you're invited, right?
One's
Sometimes-
happy, one's not.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it very much. Very exciting news for the Salvation Army to have hit and surpassed the goal. $190,000 is a big deal, and a lot of people with nice things to say on the Facebook feed. And I do want to give a shout out because our friend Adam Riniger is watching, who is involved with Special Olympics, and I know, Willie, you were talking about the torch run already and getting some shirts ordered just in case we need to. I'm hoping that we don't have to rally the troops to raise some dough for the Salvation Army or for the Special Olympics, but if we need to, it's a great that you guys have been involved with that for a long time.
Our fundraiser is on its way, and we are taking orders for shirts and other merchandise. And
you put me down for a small shirt?
Sure.
For my daughter.
Medium.
Yeah.
For you.
Thank you.
Yes.
What do you think?
Thanks for
me?
clarifying that.
Thank you. Well, just medium for me. Yeah. How many X's can you put on those shirts?
3.
3? Okay, that's good. And just like with any big and tall shirt, the extra money probably will I would donate more. As a big people, if you're out there, if you get a 3XL shirt, you're paying more and it's going to Special Olympics. So all you small people.
Actually, the 3X T-shirt is still $15.
That is, thank you, Willie. You're looking out for my people. This is nice.
So email me, call me, yes.
Yeah, well, put me down for one.
All right.
And I'm good for it. So I'll just give Quinn the money or something. That'll work out well. But I know that this is a good group and everybody works well together, and to have this success to be able to talk about is a big deal. So thank you all again. Have a good rest of your day. Yep. Lieutenant Greg Bach, good to see you, pal.
Thank you. It's always good to see you, and thank you for having us on the show so we can announce the winner. So congratulations, Muscatine County Sheriff's Department.
Thanks, sir.
Unbelievable. And again, I'm the only one not in some type of uniform or with a cool title in front of my name. No, my head's way too big. No, this is like that's a big hat.
Yeah, I mean, it might.
What kind of swimmer?
I do.
This guy. I was gonna say, you seem to get in trouble sometimes. I don't know. He was chilling in some like SpongeBob pajamas when he was living in that kettle, weren't you?
No. Actually, I was in full uniform for 3 days.
I'm kidding. In case anybody's watching, that are Greg's bosses, you were in full uniform.
They're gonna watch too. Believe me. Yeah,
Sure.
I was in
Uniform the
full
whole time.
uniform for 3 days. Yeah, for real.
Full dress. All right, very good. We're going to get out of here before I get him in trouble. All right, so we'll go to, what do we got, Chap? ILCAM. All right, so we'll go CBI Bank and Trust ILCAM. Oh, wait, hold on. Liz is saying, yes, Liz, and I had it on my list, the Jingle Mingle. Right, so you're celebrating, we totally forgot. So, yes, the Jingle Mingle at the Salvation Army. When are we celebrating the success? Is it next week?
March 12th.
Okay.
Yes, from 5:30 to 7:30, I think.
Okay. Perfect. So maybe we'll have Liz on the show.
Yeah, you should have her, because she's always like, everyone knows you, and no one knows who I am, so...
I'd be happy to get you out of here.
She needs to get on these shows and do some shows. So, Jingle Mingle, and then we do have a fundraiser for Kids Zone coming up in May as well, so that'll be forthcoming with that information. But the Jingle Mingle, if you rang the bell for Salvation Army or you're part of an organization that did, you're invited to the Jingle Mingle at Salvation Army March 12th, and you can find more information on our Facebook page.
He's going to get yelled at by his wife. I love it.
Do we need to bring the trophy to that?
Yeah, should the trophy show up?
need to bring it
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The big
put
one?
It, put it right on the vehicle. All right, so thank you, Liz. Yes, Jingle Mingle, if you rang the bell, that is next, next Tuesday, right? March 12th? Is March 12th to Thursday? That's what I meant.
13th.
It's
Well
next
played.
Thursday. Right, because next Friday is the 13th. All right, next Thursday, March 12th, Jingle Mingle. We're just going to have Liz on next week, I think, to talk about it. Yeah. All right, very good. And don't forget 10% off that razor today in case you need it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Giving you a hard time, right? And just giving a little bit of a hard time. All right, let's go to the CBI Bank and Trust ILCAM. Poor Lieutenant Greg Bach. People, we kid the ones we love, right? All right, so we're looking at the store, and there's that troll again, so that's good. Can you guys arrest that troll, please? Can just get it out of here. That thing is real creepy, everybody. And we got more light in the restaurant all of a sudden. How about that? So CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam looking near produce and a little bit of the deli shot in there, and our favorite little troll holding the pizza balloon. So that's very good. All right, does Steve have... I think Liz said yes to coming on the show.
Good. She should.
Okay. Well, fine then. All right. It's settled. I'm glad we had that talk. A little bit of jealous, I was going to say. No, by all means. All right, so let's go to Steve with the Toyota Muscatine car cam. It's National Pound Cake Day. So that's a thing, in case you're wondering. Pound cake located in aisle 6. Thank you, Chris. I like that we just got a little pound cake mix right here. It's also National Sons Day. So if you are a son, or if I have 2 sons, shout out to Henry and Theo. And, look at that, some nice cards for sons. Right, that's fantastic. Yeah, they were, my 2 sons are 7.5 and 5, and they were just boxing each other last night. So I would love to send them to any of any of my friends that are here and want to give them a ride to school one day. That would be just great. Sheriff CJ Ryan joining the live stream on Facebook. So there is some pound cake in aisle 6 if you're looking for that. National Pound Cake Day, National Sons Day. It is Marching Music Day. It's National Grammar Day, right? So the crosswords are good. Thank you, Chris. So I like a good crossword, and maybe you are the type of person that corrects people's grammar on Facebook, like Willie does. He's always making sure I'm using the right your. You see that a lot. Ooh, we got a lot. I feel like I could be on the grammar police department if there were any openings there. I'd be perfect. And it is National Hug a GI Day. So as I say, and I caution, before you just hug somebody, maybe ask first, right? Don't just go around like, well, I heard it was National Hug a GI Day. You want a hug? Like, make sure you just preface that before you just go in for a hug. So check that out. And again, if you need a little crossword fun, National Grammar Day. Now I'm going to be like very careful with what I post today. I just like that on the back of this one, they've got an ad for some sandals. So because that's how I'm going to order my sandals, are on the back of a jumbo word search right there. Do they come in 13 wide? I don't know, but there they are. Do you think that those are comfortable? Potentially. All right, very good. Well, let's go back to the CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam. We'll get our friends back. I'm assuming you have to go back to work or what? Yeah. Sorry, guys. All right. Hey, there's been no calls, though, so this is kind of nice. It's a little quiet. So let's go back to the aisle cam, Chad, and we'll get our friends out of here. Again, the big news of the day, Salvation Army of Muscatine recognizing the fact that the Muscatine Police, Fire, Sheriff's Office coming together to be co-chairs on the Red Kettle campaign and to announce, again, hitting the goal and surpassing that. So the goal is $180,000, brought in $190,000, and the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office will take first place trophy and bragging rights with them for 1 year. For 1 year only. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Jeez Louise. All right, very good. Here we go. CBI Bank and Trust aisle cam looking good. Thank you again, guys. I appreciate your time. This is fantastic. All right, so let's look and see. So a little quiet in the store right now. Again, it's just about 9:20 in the morning. And things are going to just get busier and busier, especially as we look ahead to the weekend. We've got an awesome 2-day meat sale coming up that we'll talk more about. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. But for now, if you need anything on Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday, you can stop in and we'll get you all taken care of. And happy Sons Day, everybody. My kids aren't going to expect anything on Sons Day, right? Because I'm not expecting anything from my mom and dad, since I am the oldest son, right? I'm not expecting anything, I don't think. I like these trophies. These are just fantastic. All right, very good. So let's see, Chad. We can let's just recap a couple of things. One of those being the Wellness Wednesday. So that's going on here at the store. Again, every single Wednesday, you can come in and save 10% off in the health market, health and beauty care items, and even some organic produce if you need it, right? So that's happening today on Wellness Wednesday. Somebody on Facebook is saying, don't say the Q word. What was the Q word that I said? I don't know. I said crossword. It's Grammar Day. Did I say something? Was my grammar bad on National Grammar Day? I don't want that to happen, right? That's not good. How is my grammar? Maybe I just need to practice a little bit on this word search here. All right, so Wellness Wednesday going on. Come into the store, save 10% off. We want you to take advantage of that. It's an awesome deal. Wellness Wednesday, right now. What can I get in the health market? A whole bunch of stuff, right? Keto-friendly products, gluten-free products, vitamins, so many vitamins. Holy moly, all of the vitamins. You've never seen so many vitamins as you will in this store. Absolutely fantastic. So check that out on Wellness Wednesday. We have got the ad that's on the back page of the Discover Muscatine newspaper that has a whole bunch of good stuff going on, and we'll start with the 2-day freezer sale in the meat department this Friday and Saturday. So I know that it's only Wednesday, but check this out and then definitely come into the store Friday, Saturday and get ready to save. You can see everything on there. I feel like I want to buy everything that's in this ad, right? So from the boneless top loin chops to the bone-in pork butt roast at 99 cents a pound. You gotta love the brats and brat patties, 10 for 10, 10-cent fuel saver. 60 degrees this weekend. I heard that it's like going to be in the 50s today. Just great. So fire up the grill is what I'm saying. Tyson chicken breast portions, those are on there. Of course, the meat bundle, if it's somebody's birthday or just because you like the idea of a meat bundle, please check that out. Friday and Saturday at 10 a.m., racks of ribs ready to go. Right? For $10, fresh off the smoker, full rack of ribs. That is great. So please come in for that. Mike Church in the meat department firing up the smoker, and they'll have things ready to roll. So this is the 2-day freezer filler meat sale. And then below that, we can talk to you about the grocery ad that started officially yesterday that runs through Sunday. So if you need some items for the house, you check that part of the ad out, you come in and you save, right? So tomato juice, chili beans, some Gustare Vita spaghetti, Chex Party Mix seasoning if you're making your own party mix, Hy-Vee salted butter, Powerade, C&H cane sugar, Simply Done plastic plates, Hy-Vee pretzels and or tostados, right? Little pot pie action in there, Valley popcorn. That Valley popcorn is really good, by the way. And the Hy-Vee white bread, you got to use the fuel saver on that. It's just great. So while we're there, I guess we can scroll down and show you the daylight savings ad because that is happening this weekend. A little spring ahead action. Gain a little bit more daylight. I like it. Be outside. You look at the time. You're like, oh, it's 6:45 and it's still light out. There's nothing better, and I've said this time and time again, there's nothing better than when you get to the summer. It's July, it's June, it's 8 o'clock, and you still have some daylight. So Kayleen's got some good wine and spirits deals. Hawkeye Vodka, Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light, ready to roll. And then if you are doing Lent and no meat on Friday, you can check out Boney's Fish Fry, available for lunch and dinner. Each and every Friday during Lent, so many great options to choose from, ready to go. Look at all that for $9, right? So I told you I don't really like fish, but whatever I tried that one day, it was just delightful. And then Mega Meat Sundays on Sundays. Okay, the lights, were they dim? Somebody flipped the lights on in here. It's kind of nice. Like, it's real bright. I like it. I feel good. It's like we had somebody do the clapper, and then the lights came on. It was really weird. It was like an aha moment in here. Rock and Roll Bingo, that's going to be fun. Coming up Saturday, March 21st, if you're looking for a good time. For free to play Rock and Roll Bingo. What is Rock and Roll Bingo? You'll hear a clip of a song. You'll look at your bingo card, and if you have Black Betty by Ram Jam, you put a little mark on your card. Or if you have, Jailhouse Rock by Elvis on your card, you put a little mark, you get enough of them in a row, you got a bingo, and you'll win a Hy-Vee gift card. So you have to make a reservation. Reservations required. This is Saturday, March 21st, right here inside the Market Grill Express, 7 p.m. Call 563-264-2219. Rock and Roll Bingo, hosted by Jammin' with Jesse, my buddy. Some specials that night, like the Jimi Hendrix, Huey Lewis and the Booze, and the Fleetwood Mac and Cheese Burger. That was the most dramatic sip of coffee I've ever taken in my life. Fleetwood Mac and Cheese Burger. Absolutely great. I'm so excited for Rock and Roll Bingo, March 21st. And then, yes, a regular bingo, okay, Monday, March 23rd. So if you're like, I don't want to deal with the rock and roll music, the loud rocking and the rolling and the hips shaking, then regular bingo Not that it's a lot quieter, because I call regular bingo. Not that I'm loud, but I've been told my voice carries. It's got me in trouble a couple of times when I was younger. But regular bingo, Monday, March 23rd, 7 o'clock. Again, free to play. Please come out. We'd love to see you here, and we will have a good time. All right, so month of March, we're 4 days in. You come to the store, you buy one of those red reusable grocery bags right inside the entrance on the floral side of the store, and they're $2.50 for the month of March. $1 from each bag donated to the United Way of Muscatine. So shout out to our friends, Shane Orr and Nicole Sorgenfry and Michelle Rhodes and Kim Warren and everybody connected to the United Way of Muscatine during the month of March. Again, purchase those bags, $2.50 and $1 donated back to the United Way. I think they're coming over at like noon today to take some pictures. So looking forward to seeing our friends in the house with that. If you have a smartphone like I do and you like ordering groceries on your phone, now I like, call me crazy. I like getting out and seeing people and talking to people. But if you enjoy the convenience of shopping from home, you're busy, you got kids, they've got activities, you're working, you don't have time to make it to places like Hy-Vee, you should really download the Hy-Vee app on your phone. It's free, it's easy to use, it works on iPhones and Android devices, right? So I have an iPhone 11 in front of me. I have the Isles Online app. If you have an Android, it works just the same, or you can always go to Hy-Vee.com/grocery and shop with Isles Online. Our team is taking care of people right now, right? I saw my coworker, Andrea Addig, taking care of a customer's order as I was coming in to do the show. So they do a fantastic job, and they've been doing it for just about 4 years with Isles Online here at the store. And we look forward to taking care of you. And I encourage you to download the app, check it out. It's a nice app, easy to use. I was going to open it, but we already showed you how it looks, right? You don't want to see my fingerprints on my phone. I got to get one of those nice cloths so I can wipe. And my glasses, right? My glasses get a little dirty. The other night, my daughter just ripped my glasses off my face. Baby fingerprints all over the place. I'm like, come on with this baby. She loves bubbles, that girl, though. Wow. In the garage, outside yesterday. Got to blow 8,000 bubbles for her. She's all about it. Went for a little stroll. This is it. I'm hoping that this weather that we're having, this early spring, whatever, stays around because it's nice to just be outside. Doesn't it feel good? Just get outside. Maybe open the windows of your house, air it out a little bit. Everybody's been sick. That's the best thing ever. Even if your house hasn't dealt with any sickness, you get one of those 50, 60-degree days, you just jack up all the windows, turn the heat off, and just let it breathe. Let the house, apartment, whatever you've got, let it breathe a little. It feels real, real good. All right, we went to Wapello last night with Isles Online. We go Tuesdays and Thursdays, so if you're watching this, if you know somebody or if it's you that's in the Wapello area and it's easier for you to order groceries with Isles Online and let us bring them to you at the pickup location in Wapello, we're happy to do so. So, and I love this. This is a great service. Not to pat ourselves on the back, but I'm really happy that this continues to grow and flourish with the folks in the Wapello area losing a store within the last 2 years. Hy-Vee stepped up, said you order online, hit that $30 minimum, and we're bringing it to you. We'll meet you at the pickup location. You grab your groceries, and you are on the go. Steve is chuckling at himself. This is Is Chris giving you like lessons on drawing? Because this is really good. I said it was National Grammar Day. Steve pointing out that it could also be National Gramper Day. Sometimes I feel bad as I get older, and then I see drawings like this, and I'm like, that's going to be me. I got the cane or the walker. It's also my poking stick. I want to have like the Biff from Back to the Future Part 2. McFly, hello. It's got like a little fist on it, like a little knocker. McFly, duh. National Gramper Day. I don't want to correct your grammar, but I don't think you spelled grandpa right. No, I didn't. You did not. Isn't it the best when somebody uses the wrong form of your on social media? Woo! You see it and you're like, oh, I want to correct it so bad. Ooh. You couldn't see it. Steve is a rascal, everybody. All right. What else do I need to mention? Oh, tomorrow. Hey, Starbucks right here. Happy hour, right? So tomorrow from 2 to 7, you can take advantage of happy hour at Starbucks. You buy, this is a grande, right? I think. Is it a grande? I think so. I think it's a grande or it's a venti. I don't know my sizes. Hi, I'm Tony Tone. I don't know what size drink I get from Starbucks. But here's what I do know. Tomorrow from 2 to 7, March 5th, it's happy hour at Starbucks. Buy one, get one free, y'all. That is a tremendous deal. We're doing it twice during the month of March. This is the first one. I told you that the last time we did this BOGO, we literally had a customer that saved over $60. That's how many drinks they got. They kept buying one, getting one, buying one, getting one, buying one, getting one. There's no limit, right? Treat yourself. Treat your coworkers. Bring a friend, or just be selfish and get 2 drinks for yourself. Listen, nobody's going to judge you, right? And Chad, I want to send you just a quick pick I took this morning. A couple of new drinks. Maybe it's 2 picks. Yeah, we'll do 2. A couple of new drinks that are available at Starbucks because 'tis the season when, they can start rolling out different drinks. So I just want you to come to the happy hour at Starbucks tomorrow from 2 till 7. And we'll keep talking more about that because it is a fantastic opportunity to save with the buy one, get one. And then if you do like trying the new drinks at Starbucks, check this out. They've got the Cloud Bliss. Look at that. I don't even know how they make these things. What are they called? You do a little scroll down on that, Chad? What do they got? These fancy names, too? We're looking at the Iced Caramel Cloud Macchiato. That seems like a Steve drink or a Brad drink. Iced Cocoa Cloud Macchiato. Wow. Don't they look too good to be drinking? Don't correct my grammar on that. Don't correct me on that one. And then I think there's 2 more on that other picture that are a little bit like seasonal-ish. Yeah, look at that. You got a little, what is that, little pineapple matcha drink? Pineapple matcha. And then you've got the gold ginger drink. Gold ginger. Made with the souls of ginger root. Gold ginger. Nice. So that's it. Look, that's kind of like St. Patty's Day right there. All new iced coconut milk drinks at Starbucks. So check that out. Those look good. We go to the Lutheran Living Senior Campus Community Calendar again to remind you, and we're going to talk about this. I think Judy's here tomorrow, Judy Yates. Is that right? Judy Yates with the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. The New Beginnings fundraiser is coming up on Saturday, April 4th at Geneva Golf and Country Club. Want you to be there for that. Get your tickets, sponsor a table, donate to the silent auction if you're feeling so inclined. And please consider supporting the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. There's other ways that you can support the shelter. We'll talk about those with Judy Yates on the show. But I want you to come to that event. Put it in your phone, put it on the calendar, Saturday, April 4th at Geneva, supporting the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. 18th annual event, cash bar, interactive food stations, live, silent auctions, 50-50 raffle, specialty items, furniture, art, door prizes, Isabel Bloom's available, New Beginnings sponsorships. I will tell you this. We talk about the different ways that you can get involved in the different organizations that help people in Muscatine County. Hard pressed to find. I don't want to say that one's better than the other. I don't mean that. But what I mean is the work that they're doing at the domestic violence shelter. I just want you to understand what happens in a situation where a woman has either she's by herself or has children and is experiencing domestic violence, and then finally makes the decision to leave that domestic violence situation. Where do they go? Well, that's where the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter comes into play. So this fundraiser is really important, and if it doesn't bring in a certain amount of money, we don't want to think about it, right? It's kind of like we were talking about this morning with the Salvation Army having to potentially scale back some programs. Same thing with the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. You don't want to have to think about a time. Now, of course, I wish that we lived in a perfect world where domestic violence didn't happen and we didn't need the shelter. Wouldn't that be great? But we don't live in a perfect world, and the shelter continues to be there for women and children. And Judy will tell you how many phone calls they take on their crisis line, which is available 24/7. But I just want you to understand, as someone that has toured the domestic violence shelter, which is a home, and I've told you this story 1,000 times in the last 2 years, got to take a tour of the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. It was empty the day that we were there. The next day, it was at capacity. That's not an exaggeration. That's the truth. So if you don't think that domestic violence is an issue in Muscatine County, unfortunately it is. So keeping that shelter open. So if you're watching and you think that I'm passionate about it, you're right, I am. So what can you do? I just told you what you can do. April 4th, you come to the fundraiser, you get a ticket, you have a good time, and you give us all your money. I don't know how to put it in a nice way. We need your money. You can't take it with you. What are you going to put cash in the casket when you die? You can't do it, right? Regardless of where you're going, north or south, they don't take cash, right? I'm pretty sure. Nobody's confirmed. Nobody's been declared like clinically dead and said, man, I got to where it was really nice or it was really warm, and they didn't take American Express. So you can't do it, right? So if you're able to give, and I know that I make a joke, but seriously, they need the resources. Sometimes it's just as easy as sharing something to help raise awareness. They had these Isabel Blooms this year. We'll talk more about it with Judy Yates, but I just hope that you take it seriously. The need exists. I wish that it didn't. I told you this yesterday. I wish I could win the lottery. I'd write a check. No need for the fundraiser. Here's $100,000. Done. Right? But unless I win the lottery between now and April 4th, which I would be fine with if that happened, by the way. Let the Powerball and Mega Millions gods know that would be okay. You slip me the winning numbers. There's a lot of donations going out. But in the meanwhile, get your tickets April 4th, 18th annual New Beginnings fundraiser for the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. The New Beginnings part of it, we'll talk more about it with Judy. I don't want to give everything away, but it's a really significant meaning when when a woman and her children or just a woman comes into the shelter, they get back on their feet, they have a new beginning. We'll talk more about it with her. I don't want to cover all the ground. So listen, I want to say thanks for watching the show today. Thanks to our guests. That was a lot of fun. That was more guests than I was expecting, but that's okay. We had Lieutenant Greg Bach with the Salvation Army here in Muscatine. I'm going to go in order of people that were sitting around the table. So Lieutenant Greg Bach was just kind of hanging out over my shoulder, baching around. You saw him back there. We had Assistant Police Chief Phil Sargent with the Muscatine Police Department. Next to Phil, we had Chief Jerry Evers with the Muscatine Fire Department. Corporal Willie Lesa with the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office was here, along with Captain and my friend Quinn Reese with the Muscatine County Sheriff's Office. So the point of their visit today was to celebrate Salvation Army and the Red Kettle campaign's success, thanks to folks like you and folks like those that were here this morning. Of the three departments were the honorary co-chairs with Chief Jerry Evers, Chief Brett Talkington, and Chief C.J. Ryan, rallying support from their departments to ring the bell, to raise awareness. $180,000 was the goal for the Salvation Army, and $190,000 came in between the Red Kettle donations and their fundraising letter writing campaign. So that is it hasn't happened. So the fact that we were able to do it is a group effort, certainly by the entire county. Every person out there, if you rang a bell, like Lieutenant Bach said, they're having a little party next Thursday, March 12th at the Salvation Army, 1000 South Oregon Street. I'm just going to reach out to Liz Bach to have her here so we can talk more about the Jingle Mingle, they're calling it, to celebrate the fact that they brought in, again, $190,000. Lieutenant Bach slept in the kettle. I would get to work, I'd park, I'd walk across the parking lot, and there's Lieutenant Bach sleeping in the kettle. It was such a wild thing to do, but it worked. And the best part about that, it allows the Salvation Army to continue doing the most good, which is their slogan, and they mean it. So there are a variety of services offered by those folks, and what a great thing to be able to continue to do. And now Lieutenant Bach watching the stream on Facebook. Now I feel like I have to say more nice things about him. but I won't. So thank you for being here to our guests today. I truly appreciate it. So like I said, tomorrow, I think we've got, is it Judy? Am I getting my wires crossed here? I think we got Judy Yates with the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. And then Pastor Dan Baldwin tomorrow or Friday, because I got to judge some chili again on Sunday, right? I don't have chili that often. Listen, the last couple, I'll tell you this, the last 2 times I've had chili was the Grace Lutheran Chili Cook-Off last year and the little chili cook-off fundraiser we had for Hayden's Heroes with that was at Contrary. So this Sunday, you're invited, Grace Lutheran on Cedar Street, having their chili cook-off, and I'm judging once again. And I'm telling you, they've got it down to a science at Grace Lutheran. You sit at this table, they're bringing you the chili, they've got the scoring sheet. I'm going to have some Tums because I get heartburn because I don't do well with spicy stuff. And this is totally open to the public, whether you go to Grace Lutheran or not. It's a fantastic event, and I'm looking forward to talking to Pastor Dan Baldwin about it. And I got to get ready. I haven't had chili, right? I'm feeling good, feeling prepped for it. And that's this Sunday, so we'll learn more about that later in the week. I want to glance, just because it's going to drive me crazy if I get the guest list wrong. I just want to see who else we've got coming up. Here we go. So tomorrow at 8:30 on Thursday, Judy Yates will be here. And then we've got our friend Tom McCleary with the Island Speedway will be here on Friday. And then we'll also chat with Pastor Dan Baldwin. All right, so that'll be a lot of fun. I'm just looking at my email. We will have Pastor Dan here on Friday at 9, this Friday at 9 o'clock. All right, very good. Thanks for watching the show. Hey, thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Lutheran Living Senior Campus for their support. Once again, our guests for being here. We appreciate it. Will you celebrate National Pound Cake Day today? Will you work on your grammar with your grandper? Or recognize the sons in your life? The sons. National Sons Day going on. And we'll find out what it is tomorrow. Because, hey, listen, every day there's something going on according to the internet. So thanks for watching this show. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, hyveetoday@gmail.com.